So hi guys, it's Gemini Jim back again like I never left with another public sneak peek of the BOGO deals for the week of February 25th through March the 3rd. And y'all, it's not looking like a great week to me, but we'll see. So we got the Fresh Express salad kits. They are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49. We have the Easy Fulls, the 1 and 2 counts. The cheapest I saw is $2.99, so grabbing one would be $1.49. We have the Barilla pastas, all different varieties. They're $1.89, so grabbing one would be 94 cents. The Bertolli pasta sauces are $3.49, so grabbing one would be 174. We have the Carbe Diem pastas at $3.99, so grabbing one would be 199. We have the Hunt's diced tomatoes back at 189, so grabbing one would be 94 cents, as well as the Hunt's tomato sauce at 159. Grabbing one would be 79 cents. We have the Ken's dressings at 469. Grabbing one would be 234. We also have the Progresso soups at 339. So grabbing one would be 169 for those all different varieties. And we also have the Rayo's pastas back for 329. Grabbing one would be 164. Does all this sound familiar? Because they were all uh, on promotion last week as well as this week. I was getting kind of scared that they were doing the same ad. But then let's go ahead and jump into some new deals. The Nasal Next Allergy and Congestion Nasal Sprays are $16.99, so grabbing one will be $8.49. The Publix Allergy Relief Tablets, the 30 counts are $14.99, so grabbing one would be $7.49. We got the Mama Mancini's, the 12 ounce or 14 ounce. They are $8.99, so grabbing one would be $4.49. We're gonna have some strawberries at $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. Once again, in my state is half BOGO, so we can grab one at half price instead of having to buy two. Then we have the Ambrosia apples. They are $5.99, so grabbing one would be $2.99. And they were putting out stuff. I was up there extra early, y'all. So they were putting out stuff, but they hadn't put the honeydew chunks out yet. But they will be promotion buy one get one free. The Herdez entrees are 15 ounces. They're $10.99. So grabbing one would be $5.49. We have the Farmer Focus, the boneless, skinless chicken breast. The cheapest I saw at this point was $11.83. So if I was to grab one, it would be $5.91. But prices vary. As well as the Publix, the extra lean pork tenderloins, they are $12.79. The one I saw is the cheapest. Is going to be $6.39 if I would have grabbed that one. Once again, prices vary. Then we have the Foster Farms corn dogs, the 6-count 16-ounce pack at $4.99, so it'll be $2.49 for one, as well as the mini corn dogs, the 20-count. Once again, they're $4.99. Grabbing one at $2.49. We also have the Foster Farms takeout crispy wings. They're $10.99. So grabbing one would be $5.49. And as I was recording this, looked over and saw the skinny butcher coupons on the back. So I had to grab some. So be on the lookout for those in case they go on sale or if you just want these. Next, the Just Bare lightly breaded chicken are $13.99. So grabbing one would be $6.99, sorry, as well as the Just Bare oven roasted chicken. Same price, $13.99, so grabbing one would be $6.99. We have the Hatfield bacon, the 24 ounces, $11.99, so grabbing one would be $5.99. But we also have the 16 ounce for $9.99, so grabbing one would be $4.99. So then we have the Eckrich smoked sausage and kielbasa's. They are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99, as well as the Smithfield smoked sausage, the 13 ounce. Same price, $5.99. Grabbing one at $2.99. The Prime Fresh lunch meats are going to be $5.99. Grabbing one would be $2.99. I guess this is the $5.99 section. The Sargento string cheese. They have some for $9.99. No way, but they did have some smaller ones at $4.38. So grabbing one would be $2.19 for those. Then we have the juicy juice at my store. We have some 64 ounces for $4.69. Grabbing one would be $2.34, as well as the 48 ounce at $4.49, making one $2.24 for those. Then we have Jocko protein shakes, the 12 ounce at $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99, as well as the Jocko Hydrate sports drinks, the 16 ounce. They are $2.49. So grabbing one would be $1.24. We got Celestial Seasonings tea back. Most of them are $4.39. So grabbing one would be $2.19. We also have these Hata carbonated drinks. These are on the international aisle, but they are $2.49. So grabbing one would be $1.24. As well as the Gimme Seaweed Snacks. They are $2.39. So grabbing one would be $1.19. Then we have these Glico Pocky biscuit sticks. They are $3.49. So grabbing one would be $1.74. Also, Annie Chun's bowls. They are $4.49. So grabbing one would be $2.24. We're gonna head over and grab some noodles. They the little noodle bowls, the Snapdragon ones, the 2.1 ounce and the 2.2 cups. They're $3.09 for the bigger one. So one would be $1.54 and the other one is $2.59. It'll be $1.29 for one. 4C breadcrumbs are $2.39. So grabbing one will be $1.19 for those. We also have Grey Poupon. I completely forgot they even made Grey Poupon, but they are $3.89. Grabbing one would be $1.94. Then we have the Blue Plate Mayo for $4.79. So grabbing one would be $2.39, and we should all be stocked up on mayo. Next, we have Heinz ketchup, the 14 to 20 ounce. The cheapest I saw is $2.99. So grabbing one would be $1.49. And remember, y'all, that is stocking spree. Then we have the Majestic Mount Olive pickles at $5.49. So grabbing one would be $2.74. Another repeat deal. Then we have the Heinz yellow mustard stocking spree as well. So the 20 ounce is $2.89. So grabbing one would be $1.44 for those. Then the Simply Spices, which are expensive, so I'm looking at, through them, and the cheapest I saw, which is parsley, was $5.69. So grabbing one would be $2.84, but whatever seasonings you need if you want to try out those seasonings. Then we have the Delalo pastas. They're $2.99. So grabbing one would be $1.49 for those. Next up is the Velveeta shells and cheese. They're $3.71. So grabbing one would be $1.85. Next we have Ben's Ready Rice. They are $2.85 at my store. So grabbing one would be $1.42. And so it's not Uncle Ben's anymore. They took off the Uncle, like Duncan took off donuts. But next we have the Kellogg's Rice Krispie treats, the 16 count. They're $6.69. So grabbing one would be $3.34. We also have Bare Naked granola at $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. And then we have the Planters Trail Mix at my store. They are $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. Next, we have the Top Box Organic Snacking. They're pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, all different varieties. They are $3.99. So grabbing one would be $1.99. They have a whole lot of varieties of these sunflower seeds. Then we have the Saffron Road chickpeas. They are $4.99, so grabbing one would be $2.49 for these, and they also have a lot of different varieties of these. Next, we have the Propel water, the 6-pack, the 16.9 ounce, are $7.49. So grabbing one would be $3.74, as well as the Propel 20 ounce. They are $2.49. So grabbing one would be $1.24. We have the IBC 4-pack of the specialty sodas, the root beer and the cream soda at $5.69. So one would be $2.84 for those. Next, the Deer Park Spring Water, the 12-pack, 8 ounce, the little bottles. They are $3.39. So grabbing one would be $1.69. We also have the Core Hydration 6-packs, the 16.9 ounce at $8.49. So one would be $4.24. For those, we have the Hot Shot Ant Roach and Spider Killer at $4.89. So grabbing one would be $2.44. The Airwick, the 1 and 2 count warmers are on promotion. I only saw the 2 count at my store, but they're $3.89. One would be $1.94. The Tuscany candles, the 14 ounce, are $11.59. So grabbing one would be $5.79. Then it says Carvana laundry care. So I saw these two items. This color grabber is $5.09. So one would be $2.54. And like these little wipe things are $8.29. And grabbing one would be $4.14. The OxyClean stain removers, the 6.2 to 21.5 ounce, the cheapest I saw is $4.19. So grabbing one would be $2.09. Then we have the Arm& Hammer is going to be our laundry detergent of choice this week. So the 45.5 and the 50 ounce are $6.49. So grabbing one would be $3.24. If you prefer the packs, the 24 count are $7.49. So grabbing one would be $3.74 for those. Also, the Arm& Hammer scent boosters are $6.49. So grabbing one would be $3.24 for those. Also, the Arm& Hammer fabric sheets are $4.59. Dryer sheets, I mean. So grabbing one would be $2.29 for those. And then we also have the Arm & Hammer fabric rinse. Those are $7.49. So grabbing one would be $3.74. Then we have Mr. Clean, the Magic Eraser cleaning pads. They are $7.59. So grabbing one would be $3.79 for those Magic Eraser cleaning pads. Next, we have the Cascade, the 40 count bag. They are $20.99. So grabbing one would be $10.49 for those. It said 40 and 50 count, but I only saw 40 count in my store. Next, we have the Nabisco, the family size crackers. All of them, I believe, are included, but I'm just going to show the Ritz. They are $6.29. So grabbing one would be $3.14. We have the Annie's Baked Crackers at $4.99. So grabbing one would be $2.49. We also have the Pepperidge Farms, the Milani, the Chessman. I believe all of them are going to be on sale. Don't hold me to that because they be tricking me lately. But they are $5.89. So grabbing one would be $2.94. I do believe it's all though this time, y'all. Next, the Milton's crackers are $4.19. So grabbing one would be $2.09 for those. Then we have Sietta grain-free cookies at $4.39. So grabbing one would be $2.19 for those. We also have the family size of the family size of the Chips Ahoy cookies, which at my store are $6.29. So grabbing one would be $3.14. We have Quaker Rice Crisps, which They have a lot of varieties of these, but they are $2.49. So grabbing one would be $1.24 for those. Next, we have the Gordon's, another repeat. The fish fillets and the fish sticks are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. We have the super pretzels back. The 9.6 ounces or 24 ounces. The cheapest is $4.29. So grabbing one would be $2.14. These Totino's pizza rolls are back. This time they included the smaller one, the 50 count, which are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. The Palermo's Primo Thin pizzas, the 14.2 to 16.5 ounce are $8.99. So grabbing one would be $4.49. We have the Green Giant frozen vegetables. Now it say 9 to 10 ounce. So y'all, the 9.5 ounce at my store are $3.19, which is make it $1.59, and the 10.5 ounce is $4.59, which makes it $2.29. The Kevin's frozen bowls are $5.99, so grabbing one would be $2.99. We have the Sublime dessert macaroons are $6.59, so grabbing one would be $3.29. Our Pillsbury is back. Another repeat. The biscuits, the cinnamon rolls, the crescents. The cheapest we have are $3.29. So grabbing one would be $1.64 for those Pillsbury products. The Smart Balance 15-ounce tubs are $3.59. So grabbing one would be $1.79, as well as the Earth Balance tubs are $5.99. So grabbing one would be $2.99. We have the Ready whipped topping, the 6-ounce can is $3.69. So grabbing one would be $1.84. We have Perfect Bar, the refrigerated protein bars. The cheapest are the mini size, the 8-count box, are $8.59. So grabbing one would be $4.29. We have the family size entrees of the Michelangelo's, these frozen entrees. They are $9.99. So grabbing one would be $4.99. Then the Natural Bliss coffee creamers, the 32-ounce, are $6.29. So grabbing one would be $3.14. For those, we have St. Dalfor fruit spreads at $5.65. So grabbing one would be $2.82. Our chips that we're gonna have, we have Doritos at $5.49, making them $2.74, as well as the Cheetos for $5.49. Once again being $2.74. Y'all, I love hot Cheetos, and I actually like them flaming dill pickle. Y'all, you know I love pickles. Next, we have the Wise potato chips at $4.79. So grabbing one would be $2.39. So nothing's really like jumping out at me, but y'all know between coupons, I'm sure it's gonna be some decent deals in there, but I just don't think it's been as good as the weeks we've been leading up to, which is okay. Sometimes we can't just make it to the store. But if y'all like the video, like the video. Tell me what deals you're intrigued by, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Bye!